We possess industrial power capable of terraforming the planet, yet our global economy and climate grow more unstable every year. Early human survival relied on relentless competition and resource extraction. At a tribal level, these instincts kept us alive, but scaled up to 8 billion people equipped with heavy machinery, those identical survival drives are hollowing out the biosphere. This trajectory is called outward evolution. It is a path defined by speed, control, and the endless extraction of resources to fuel technological dominance. But there is a second, largely neglected trajectory, inward evolution. This path requires conscious self-restraint, ethical depth, and the pursuit of meaning rather than mere accumulation. Humanity has crossed a threshold where basic biological survival is no longer the central problem for our species as a whole, yet our global economic systems are still entirely governed by those primitive survival instincts. When unchecked, outward evolution pairs with planetary scale technology. The result is a biological trap. We are accelerating our own collapse simply because we are running outdated software on a global scale. The most powerful manifestation of that outdated software is the traditional profit-maximizing corporation. Designed purely for competitive financial growth, it acts as the primary engine for outward evolution. To counter this, new informal governance models are emerging. These frameworks pressure companies to establish a reason for existing beyond generating dividends. The first step in this shift is known as systemic goal alignment. Systemic goal alignment forces a business to tie its future success to external, science-based targets, ensuring its operations restore the environment rather than just extracting from it. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, a framework of 17 interconnected global objectives, serve as a blueprint for these external targets. But top-down environmental targets fail without a micro-level counterpart, individual goal alignment. This taps into the internal stakeholders, the employees, and their intrinsic motivation to pursue meaningful, ethical work. This diagram shows a cyclical relationship where systemic and individual goal alignment feed into organizational change. On the left, aligning personal values with corporate actions removes the work-life disconnect. On the right, this motivation drives the company to respect socio-ecological boundaries and planetary needs. The 2025 Sasaki study provides an empirical test for these models. Researchers analyzed 28 managers across 16 large companies in Australia and Japan to see how purpose actually influences operations. The findings showed that companies employing a hybrid approach, merging outside-in planetary strategies with inside-out human values, advanced much further in implementing sustainable development than companies using only one perspective. Adopting this hybrid purpose forces a shift in how capital functions. When a company internalizes human values and planetary goals, it implements the functional mechanism required for inward evolution. As corporations increasingly deploy artificial intelligence, they introduce a profound evolutionary variable. AI is no longer a passive tool. It is an active, relational force. This dynamic is called co-intelligentialism. Humans shape AI through training data and constraints, while AI influences how we make decisions. Together, we are forming a symbiotic shared cognitive identity, where outcomes cannot be attributed to either party alone. When purpose-driven AI systems interact across global networks, they form a planetary-scale cognitive system, the noosphere, a shared sphere of thought linking communication networks, corporations, and the biosphere. Here, AI acts as connective tissue, exponentially accelerating our ability to coordinate global action. If this emerging planetary intelligence remains driven by these outdated corporate survival instincts, prioritizing endless growth and extraction, AI will simply magnify our blind spots and accelerate ecological collapse. This is exactly where corporate purpose scales. By embedding hybrid values into their organizations, businesses provide the ethical programming and empathy required to stabilize this global consciousness. Evolution is self-aware. Our future is subject to choice. To survive our intelligence, we must